What's up, blog tribe? In today's video, we are going to be walking through what I truly believe is the fastest path to building a $1,000 a month, just a simple $1,000 a month blogging and online business. I got a bunch of notes here. We're going to go through all this. I really do think this is one of the best ways to do this. Let's go. Two quick things to kick us off. I will actually post a link to get access to my notes here. This is actually the notes to making this YouTube video, but it was so nice, I decided to make it look a little bit prettier formatting. I'll provide the link in the description below this video. You can go check that out. Now, note number two, I'm not actually going to talk a lot about freelancing in this video. Freelancing is actually the answer to your question, by the way. How can I build up $1,000 a month as quickly as humanly possible using an online business or a blog? Freelancing is the real answer to that. But what we're going for here is a little bit more passive income, or at least leveraged, at least scalable, the traditional sense, affiliate marketing, ads, selling digital products, and that sort of thing. So before I actually show you like a step-by-step what to do, there are two extremely important concepts that you have to know first. Number one, you're not gonna know exactly what's gonna work for you, and that's okay. I wanna talk about the whole throwing stuff against the wall and making sure it sticks. I'm gonna give you a little play-by-play based on my own experience, what I've seen my private members do. I think you should try and follow it, but I've actually built in a few redundancies in my little playbook here, which I'm about to show you. The point is, you don't know which product is going to be your most profitable or successful. You don't know exactly the type of person you're going to attract for your audience and your topic and your niche yet. You don't know those things, and that's okay. You need to approach this strategy of monetization through the lens of, I've got to be testing things. I've got to be experimenting with some things. I need to do that in such a way that's, one, gonna have the highest odds at making me money, and two, also set me up for long-term success. I have built that into my step-by-step here, which I'm about to show you, but just know you're gonna have to be throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks and seeing what doesn't stick. That's part of the process, and that is the fastest way to generating more income, is learning what works and what doesn't work. That sounds obvious, but most people kind of skip this step in their head. And concept number two, we actually just mentioned, we're gonna be building something for the long term while building something for the short term. Yes, there absolutely are actions you can take that can generate short-term audience gains, short-term affiliate commissions, short-term product sales, that sort of stuff. There are things you could do to make that stuff happen, and all the while be building up a long-term, more sustainable model for SEO traffic and email list growth and those sorts of things. Those things do exist, and I'm gonna share them with you. Like right now. Okay, so here we are. Here is the broad overview, how to get to $1,000 a month as quickly as humanly possible. Number one, create a product suite. A suite meaning like a hotel suite. A hotel suite doesn't just have like the one room, it has like a little side room, or maybe it has a whole nother room. It has multiple rooms. That's what a suite is. S-U-I-T-E. Step number two, implement the simplest of all funnels. Don't let that word overwhelm you. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that in a second. Step number three would be to take marketing actions that yield short-term results and build up a long-term potential. Let me say that one more time here. You are going to create a product suite. You're going to implement a simple funnel as soon as humanly possible. And then you're going to start taking marketing actions that yield immediate results, but can also set yourself up for the future. So let's dive into number one, the product suites. What do I mean by that? What I really suggest doing is starting with products in mind first. And remember the throwing stuff against the wall thing? I want you to create multiple small products, like literally 20, okay? Small products, not super huge courses, mini trainings, printable PDFs, a checklist, spreadsheets, anything you can do. Canva templates, tools, anything like that. Smaller price products, less than $100. Probably like in the neighborhood of $17, $27, up to $49, and up to $99. In that price range, create them rapidly, as quick as humanly possible. They don't need to be fancy. What you're doing here is testing the ideas and topics, and you're trying to also test your audience, by the way, in order to see what people actually want and what they'll pay for. And then here's the genius of this. If you do this, you are creating long-term assets that you can reuse. You can change the price. You can make them free. You can turn them into freebies, repurpose them all to your heart's desire. Now, here is a few examples of this. I did this on accident last summer. When I made 1 hour blog posts, I created not only 1 hour blog posts, I did several different formats of it. I also made some bonuses. I have some organizational Airtable templates and a topic grab bag and a cool tools checklist. And I also made like an accompanying mini training. It's called lightning writing. I also have a upsell course. It's called Content Everywhere. The point is I made a bunch of different products, probably like 6 or 7 right off the bat within the course of like 2 weeks. And I was presenting them all to my audience, trying to figure out, what do people want? What do they want to pay for? And as an example, here's one thing I learned about 2 months in. What I did have as the bump offer, an additional offer for $37, people were not buying. It was terrible. So what I actually did is I took that, I switched it with one of my bonuses, the mini training, the lightning writing right there. That was originally a bonus. And I switched it, I made it the one-time offer, and now this converts like crazy. That's just one small example of creating a bunch of products. I'm also doing the same thing for my podcasting funnel. As you can see right here, I literally have them like brainstormed out. I have PodCourse, which is going to be about $350, $400. I also have a podcast marketing playbook. That's a little bit less expensive. I have a 1-hour podcast. It's a little different. I have a couple of freebies already. I have some different bonuses. Basically, this is a whole product suite that has to do with podcasting. What I'm doing right now, literally at the time of this recording, is I'm starting to run Facebook ads. I'm starting to get on other people's podcasts and talk about these. I'm starting to mention them in my content. I'm throwing stuff against the wall and I'm trying to see what people want and what people will pay for, and I'm adapting based on that. I'm also going to be doing the same thing with my funnel. I'm talking about evergreen automations here in the next couple of months. And so I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm already starting to generate a bunch of different product ideas here that'll sell for like $27, $37, $97, leading up to a high ticket offer, $3,000. But I need to kind of figure out the angle, the positioning that I'm going to take first. So that's step number 1 in this whole process. Brainstorm and start creating these today. And yes, I mean today. If you're totally new, or if you're watching this and you've been blogging for a while, I really do think you should start creating products literally today. They could be Google Docs. I know people that make a couple $1,000s a month from selling Google Docs, like the one I just showed you right there. It's crazy, right? Start creating these tools, PDFs, printables, ebooks, checklists, spreadsheets, templates, mini trainings, webinars, paid webinars, like whatever that stuff is. Create them as fast as humanly possible, but you have to take note on what sticks to the wall and what doesn't. You will see this. If you do this often enough and you pay attention to it, you will find products that work better than others. And you can adapt your strategy going forward. That is step number 1 in this entire process, is to start creating those today. You don't have to have all of them done in a weekend, but start brainstorming all the different product ideas and start creating them today. That's step number 1 in this monthly 1K playbook. Step number 2 in this process, especially for those that were just starting from scratch, would be to have a website. Implement a simple funnel. Now here is, don't get super overwhelmed by this. Here's what I mean by funnel. A place on the internet where you can point people, your website, including a landing page for this freebie you're trying, this freebie you're trying, this small price product you're trying, a checkout thing, some sort of website and or landing page. If you're gonna blog, you need a website anyways. Even if you're not gonna blog, you need a website anyways, really. But you could also use stuff like your ConvertKit or MailerLite landing pages, whatever email software you're using. Basically, you need a place to point people, a way to capture people's email addresses and send them emails, and then a way to sell them things. That's it. So when I tell you to build a simple funnel, I'm talking about building a simple landing page or a checkout page. You can use fancy stuff like ThriveCart and SamCart, or you can use cheaper stuff like SendOwl, and there's half a dozen more cart flows that are a little bit more affordable. You have to have that stuff set up and implemented ASAP. A way to capture money. A way for people to pay you. It could be Gumroad, even, for the most part, right? And I even listed out right here. Have a website, have an email provider, have a checkout platform, e-commerce tool, something. You could use Shopify if you really wanted. Landing page, a thank you page where you'll probably be pitching products. If you have a freebie, this is a great way to test if people will buy something, is by putting a little upsell or a tripwire offer right there on the thank you page. It's simple enough to do, I think. A checkout page, which would be that, and an email sequence. And by the way, this is where we start getting into the long-term benefits here. When you build out an email sequence, I'm talking about one, by the way. I'm not talking about creating a bunch of email sequences, a bunch of funnels. I'm talking about creating one to start off with. You can always do more going forward, but you're basically giving people what they opted in for, the freebie, the small priced offer, or whatever it is. You're going to be nurturing them over the course of a couple of weeks. I would love to tell people, you can just start with one nurturing email. Deliver the thing, nurture them in one email, and then you can do whatever you want after that. You could nurture them for a few more emails and then put them into a pitch and sales sequence that's getting more advanced. But that is the stuff you kind of want to be building to. The brilliance of these is you can also start promoting affiliate products, and you can start today. You can do all this today. I mean, yeah, you got to put in several hours of work getting all of this stuff set up. The third step in this process, which we're going to get to in a second, is getting the eyeballs for this, right? But you can implement a simple funnel today. You have a website, you have an email provider, you have a checkout provider. Those are the three tools you need. You can build landing pages, you can build a simple checkout page. I got plenty of resources that I'll be promoting over the coming weeks and months on how to write sales pages and copywriting templates and how to get these things set up. But just know you can start doing this today. You start with like a 1, 2, or 3 email sequence, giving them their stuff, one nurturing email that tells your story, why you're doing what you do, provides a little bit of value maybe, I don't know, that's kind of up to you, and then a pitch email if you want to. That's even optional right there. You can start promoting affiliate products in these funnels as well. Again, this is all building up to like a 1K a month passive income stream through products, a simple funnel, and affiliate marketing. So let's move on to step 3 here. Let's pretend you were actually doing this. You're like, Pete, I love this. I'm gonna start a new blog from scratch. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna generate some product ideas, like literally 50 of them. Most of them are gonna be garbage, and I think maybe these 3 or 4 are some things that I could create and sell and people might want. You get those ideas, you start creating those. You don't have to create them all in a weekend. And then you make sure you're covered on the implementation side. You have a website, literally just one page, a home page if you want for now, if you don't have anything, or your existing blog. You have a landing page for a freebie or a checkout page for a tiny offer, like 17 bucks or something like that. Maybe you have a thank you page that also sells that. If you're doing a freebie to a tripwire offer, you could do it that way. The possibilities are endless, which is also a little frustrating. I wish I could tell you exactly what to do, but it depends on your business and your blog and your products. You implement that and probably have like an email sequence that gives people value, nurtures them, sells affiliate products, sells your own product, like whatever that stuff is. That is the simplest of simple funnels. And then the third step is to, okay, how do I get people in the funnel? So that's what I'm talking about right now. The actions I want to talk about here are short-term marketing stuff, but also yields long-term potential, specifically with SEO, but also just long-term for building an audience. That's the goal. That's the purpose. To start putting your product in front of people, actually to start putting your product suite in front of people, and then test and see what works. This is the purpose of the marketing efforts, is to get people in the funnel, to get people looking at your products, to get people seeing your affiliate links, to get the people, right? This is what I'm talking about here. There are a bunch of things you could do. Here is actually the direction I want to go. If I were giving you a playbook, like a literally do this step-by-step thing, and you were starting from scratch, this is exactly what I would tell you to do. Number 1, publish 10 pieces of content. And for a very strict reason. This isn't like 10 pieces of content willy-nilly. This isn't 10 pieces of content all for SEO. This is for a few different purposes and very strategic. Number 1, 2 to 3 thought leadership pieces. What I really mean by this is opinion pieces, story-driven content, content that is different from everybody else out there. You have opinions, you have ideals when it comes to your topic and your space. No, these aren't going to be for keywords. No, these aren't going to sell your products. What these do is allow you to go on other people's podcasts, other people's YouTube channels, get guest posts, and talk about things that you've written, that you've created, that you've published that gets attention. This stuff stands out. Thought leadership pieces, opinion pieces, different ideals you have, something different. It has to be different. If it's not different, it's not going to grab people's attention. And you can use this to point people to your money post, to your affiliate marketing, to your funnels, to your freebies. You can use this content to do that, but that's not what it's for. It's for getting attention so that when you go on other people's podcasts, now you can talk about something. Now you have a pitch for people. When I go on people's podcasts nowadays, I start talking about 1 hour blog. Why? Because very few people are talking about what I'm talking about. Lots of people are talking about email marketing. Lots of people are talking about affiliate marketing. Lots of people are talking about SEO. There's not a lot of people who can talk about saving time creating content like I can, because I'm one of the world's best at that. I really do believe that. #humblebrag. The thought leadership pieces is one part. Mega post and or pillar content is another one. If you have been into SEO, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the top 3 to 5 subtopics in your topic, your niche, your industry. Write those big posts. If you're targeting for SEO, these would be your big broad keywords. If you're brand new, you're never going to rank for this right now, but that's okay. You can update it later on. You can do more internal links and backlinks later on, but this is another resource that you can point people to. It's an excuse to get people to come to your website. I have this article on this. When people ask me about podcasting gear, I have my one thing that I can send to them. When people ask me about SEO, I have the one thing now. I've created that one resource. You're creating the big resources, not like 20 of them, like 1 to start, and then 3, and then 5. Basically, you're just using this as an excuse to get people to your site. Same thing as the thought leadership stuff, but this is more like instructional, how to, the big broad stuff that's Also going to yield long-term SEO benefits. That's the goal here, right? And then the last category of content I would tell you to create now would be money post. And by money post, I mean stuff that is written specifically to make money. This could be for affiliate marketing, or it could be your own digital products. And by the way, if you're looking for some ideas on what is that content, well, first of all, affiliate stuff would be reviews and tutorials for your affiliate products. That's really easy right there. But your own products, here's another one, specific pain points that your product solves. Whatever your product does for people, your tools, even your freebies for that matter, find out what those pain points are and then write about those pain points. That's it. That's all you have to do. All you're doing in that content is convincing people why they need your thing. Same thing with the review post. You're convincing people why they need to try XYZ affiliate product. Those are the 3 categories of content I would tell people to do. Publish 10 pieces of content. Next up, people aren't gonna like this. I'm telling you right now, a lot of people aren't, because they want to be bloggers and they want to take the easy way out. This is the easy way out. You just don't realize it yet. Get on other people's podcasts and or YouTube channels, but really get on other people's podcasts, and maybe you can do guest posts. I think this is a little bit less desirable in my opinion for a few different reasons I'll talk about in a second. Start getting on other people's platforms. Podcast are the big ones in my opinion. YouTube, also guest posting kind of works like this, but not really. And start talking about your content. The thought leadership pieces are what stand out. It's naturally going to draw people to, as well as your products. You always want to talk about these things. You always want to mention these things. How's this going to help me get to monthly 1K? How's this going to help me start making $1,000 a month in a lot of different ways? The long-term benefits are pretty obvious. This getting on other people's podcasts, getting guest posts, it's building backlinks for SEO. It's building authority and trust with your audience over time. You're constantly in a state of creating new products, the product suite, testing what's working, testing what's not, testing what your audience is interested in, what they're not, testing what they will actually pay for and what not. And all the while, you're getting one-off sales to help pay for this little obsession of yours. You're getting one-off affiliate marketing stuff. You're building relationships for affiliates. You're building relationships for people who will help promote your content as well as your products. Getting on other people's platforms is huge for this. And if you're looking to make 1K in mostly passive income from sales as soon as humanly possible, go get on other people's podcasts and platforms and YouTube's, less so with guest posts, but it could work. Start talking about your content that is unique, that is different, that sets you apart. Start talking about your products, which hopefully are a little bit different and hopefully a little bit new and unique. You'll figure that out over time as you test things, and you will get sales. Now, is it going to be $1,000 this month? No, absolutely not. And that's okay. What you're doing is learning so you can start to improve, so you can start promoting that one product that people really, really, really want. And you're building backlinks, you're building up a body of content, you're building relationships, and you're building your audience all the while. This is a long-term thing by short-term actions. This is a short-term action. Getting on the people's podcast is a short-term action, but it leads to a bunch of different benefits. Last part, freelancing. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about freelancing. I know several people who utilized freelancing literally as a marketing strategy. As in, they didn't want to be freelancers forever. Most of us don't. If you have a full-time job, you have a full-time job. You want to work for yourself. You want more passive income. You want scalable, leveraged income. Freelancing can actually be a way to build an audience. It builds up social proof. It gives you testimonials from clients. It generates authority. Look what I did for this other person. Builds authority right there. It also builds your network, like we set up here, for finding affiliates, for finding people that'll promote your products, for getting on other people's podcasts. It does all that stuff. Also gives you a way better understanding of what people want and what people will pay for. So if you're starting from scratch, or if you already have like a blog or a platform going, I recommend generating a bunch of product ideas and trying to find the top like 2, 5, even up to like 7 or 8 products that you think will work best. Start creating them and start putting them in front of people in your content, in your emails. Speaking of which, that's step number 2. Oh wait, actually, you're trying to figure out what works. That's the purpose. Right? Over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year, you're trying to find the products that people really want and really will pay more for and that really are just your thing. You're trying to figure that out. You're throwing stuff against the wall. Step number 2, implement funnel, right? Create landing page, create freebie, implement it. Attach some emails to that. A follow-up email sequence that gives them their thing, nurtures them a little bit or a lot, and then sells a thing if you want to. Sells your affiliate products. Talk about that. Create emails, create content to sell products, to sell affiliate products. Anything, right? Implement said funnel. You'll need an email provider, a website if you don't have one already, and some sort of checkout platform, Shopify, Thrivecart, Sendout, any of those things. And then step 3, start putting those things in front of people. I recommend getting on other people's platforms once you have a little bit of content built up yourself. The thought leadership pieces that really make people like, oh yeah, I'll totally have you on my podcast to talk about that. That's unique. That's different. People want to talk about that. That's how you get on other people's platforms first and foremost. Create some of that. Create some pillar content just so you can have resources for people people and then create some money content, do some interlinking, internal links for all of those things to help build a little web for people to get followed deep into your content, and then start getting on other people's platforms. I recommend going on other people's podcasts. You can do guest YouTube spots that might be a little bit harder. You can do guest posts as well, certainly, to build up backlinks and build up traffic to your site a little bit. But podcasts also build relationships a lot faster, builds you authority and social proof and trust a lot faster with an audience, and hopefully those people will come to your thought leadership pieces, will come to your products and your freebies and get in your funnel. 3-step process. Do this. Make $1,000 a month. All right, so that is the end of the video. Feel free to go opt into my stuff. Give me your email address and I'll give you this monthly 1K playbook and get you into my own funnels. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. It's in the description below this video. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. #YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, yada, yada. I love you guys. We'll see you next time in the next video. Adios.